All right, President Trump, if you're watching this, please keep watching. I am asking you to please sit down and have an interview with me. I think that perhaps you surround yourself with people who agree with you, and maybe you need to hear another perspective. And maybe I'm not the most educated person to offer that other perspective, but I do feel like, as someone who grew up very Republican, very conservative, very Christian, and as someone who has a lot of family members who also are that way still, I think that we can have a good conversation, and perhaps I can help open your mind to things that you are currently closed to. And I know that there are a lot of people who are going to be mad at me for even offering this interview or trying to get this interview.
And they're mostly going to be Democrats. They're mostly going to be people on the left, because this isn't about having a conversation. This is not about a conversation. People that are on the left typically don't want to have the conversation because it's led by emotion. That's why they're not focusing on the numbers. That's why they're not focusing on the logic when they're talking about the issues that Democrats and people on the left care about so much. They mainly focus on the emotion. And I'm interested to see what it is she says the issues are that she wants to talk about. Because she hasn't said up to this point what she actually wants to talk about. She just said that Trump surrounded himself with people that don't, disagree with him. But let's hear her out, and then I'll react a little bit later.
But I think that a huge problem is people not willing to speak to other people with differing beliefs. I grew up so Republican, so conservative until I met my ex-husband. And because he was willing to talk to me and just try to understand why my mind was so set the way it was, at 21, I completely did a 180 and realized that I didn't know everything and that I was wrong, and it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to change your mind. And I think that a lot of people get mad when people held beliefs and think they can't change their mind. But for this world to get better, people need to change their mind and open their mind and form new opinions. So I don't know. I would love an opportunity to try and speak to you.
I'm interested when she says that the world would be a better place if people were more open-minded and changed their mind. Change their mind to what exactly? I feel like we've had too much open-mindedness lately. We've had too much, to the point to where things that are actually good and that make sense, they no longer mean anything. If we're all just open-minded and we don't stand for anything, how can we be a country? How can we be a people that value anything? How can you raise your children to believe certain values and adhere to certain standards if we're just open-minded about everything? It's more complex than just being open to changing your mind about something. You need to understand why somebody made their mind up about something to begin with. Because I know she's saying that she was Republican first and then she switched to Democrat or more left-leaning when she met her ex-husband. But a lot of people will tell you that Trump has not always been the most conservative Republican person. As a matter of fact, I look at him personally as more Democrat. He seems like if he wasn't running as a conservative or running as a Republican, he honestly operates more like a Democrat in his own personal life. So I say all that to say, we still haven't heard exactly what she wants to talk to him about. All we've heard about is how she wants to change his mind, and you need to be open-minded, and people just need to, be willing to change. Let's hear if she actually gives a reason or a vision to change to.
And obviously, I don't know. I do think people can change. I changed. If you had met me when I was 18, it was a completely different person who held completely different views than I did at 21. When I met my ex-husband, and he opened my mind, and he really did take the time to understand why I held the beliefs I did without looking at me like I was just a horrible person. Even though the beliefs I had, I didn't realize how hurtful they were to so many people. And even with a mother who is Mexican, I still had beliefs that were hurtful. And it's just, I have a lot of Hispanic Mexican family who holds these beliefs that are hurtful to their own people. So with all of that said, I'm just trying to do whatever I can to try to make a positive dent in this world, because I believe what is happening right now is very scary.
So this is about illegal immigration. She doesn't come out and say that, but this is about illegal immigration. And one of the things that you have to realize is that, we live in an era where you no longer have to be informed. You just have to see something that makes you emotional. So she's probably seen videos of people being dragged away, or illegal immigrants, and this propaganda that's been put up so that you feel the emotions behind illegal immigrants being deported from this country, right? You feel it. And that's the strategy that the left is using when it comes to illegal immigration, because they cannot justify it based on the numbers. They cannot justify how black people have been in this country as slaves and been through all of this stuff since before the country's inception, but you have money for illegal immigrants, but not to help fix some of the issues within the black community. And I want to be clear, it's not the government's responsibility to fix the black community, but it's certainly not the government's responsibility to harm the black community, which they have historically done. When we see that, illegal immigrants are now being flown to different places, and how hard Democrats are going to try to get them to become a voter base and all these other things. But I want to have a deeper conversation about, what does it mean to be a celebrity and also try to be on the forefront of talking about these political issues? Because let's be clear, she already admitted that she's not informed on the issues. And listen, I don't think that you have to be the most informed person to have a conversation about something. But what I do believe is that you have to be somewhat confident in your position to think that you're going to change the mind of the president of the United States or other people who may be more informed. It's not about you necessarily being the most informed, but at least let's have a non-talking point argument or discussion about these things. If you're going to tell me that you see that your friend got deported or whatever, and that's the reason you want to do this, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. Why? Because your personal experiences do not trump what's best for public policy. They do not trump the real devastation that's happening to these communities that cannot support the illegal immigration. And they do not take away the fact that people immigrate to this country legally and the damage that you're doing to them. And also, what does it signal when we allow all these people to come into the country illegally? What does it signal to the people that are not in the country that want to come here illegally? Just come because Bobbi wants to have a conversation with Trump and get him to change his mind? Where was this level of enthusiasm when you saw the illegal immigrants being let in? Where was this level of enthusiasm? Like, to me, this is like, okay, someone chose to rob a bank. And now that the cops are here and they're going to go in and get the people out of the bank that shouldn't be there robbing it, we want to have a conversation. We want to talk to the bank owner. Hey, you're showing me pictures of people getting shot in the bank. You're showing me pictures and videos of people being dragged out of the bank, and their kids are outside like, please, no, I love my mommy. I love my daddy. Don't take them to jail for robbing the bank. You want to have a conversation about that because you're seeing images that make you emotional. And I understand, I get it. But where was this enthusiasm when there's preventative measures so that they don't come to this country illegally to begin with, so they don't have to be dragged out? Where is that? Because I don't see that. I don't see y'all telling people to not come so that this doesn't happen. It's like y'all came, y'all are here, and we don't want y'all to leave for whatever reason. I don't know. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I might do a live on this. Make sure you tap in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. My name is Fitz, and I'll see y'all in the next video.